Hi y'all, we are making another side dish that tonight we're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs, and I believe Bob's making some bratwurst too, all cooked on the grill. So I'm making some fried onions for him, fried Vidalia onions for him, and I'm going to saute some Vidalia onions for me. So I've put a little bit of olive oil in this skillet right here, and I'm just going to take some of these. I've already sliced up a whole bunch of these and divide them out into ringlets. So I'm just going to put some of these rings in that skillet. That should be plenty for me. And then I've got all these that are left that I'm going to do something for Bob. So let me get the mixture mixed up here. So let me turn y'all down a little bit so you can see. Okay. So I'm going to take 1 egg, mix it up a little bit, put it in here. I'm going to put 1/2 cup of water and 1/2 cup of just regular milk. Get the top off of it. And this is actually fat-free milk that I've got here, but you could use whole milk, it doesn't matter, just as long as you have some milk. And then just gonna stir that up really good. And then I'm going to dump some of these onions down in here. Just stir them around. We can take a few more. These are sliced really thin, so these will sort of be like those onion strings that you get at restaurants on top of a burger. They'll be something like that, but of course, knowing Bob, he'll have them as a side dish. He's one that doesn't put gravy on top of things. He just likes his things separated. So now I've taken some flour, and I may need to add a little bit more to this because I was cooking some of it earlier today. In fact, I think I am going to add just a little bit more flour to that. So hold on a second. Let me get some more flour. Okay, I've got about another 2/3 of a cup of flour here. So I'm just going to mix that in with the other flour that I was using. And I had put some cayenne pepper in here and some paprika just to give it some color, and some salt and black pepper. And I think I also put some garlic powder. So just, you know, you just season your flour for whatever you like. The cayenne pepper, Bob will love that. And like I said, the paprika gives it some nice color too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a separate bowl. Hold on a second. So I can have a lot of different things going on here. Let me go ahead and turn this fire on. Get this grease hot. Sorry. All right, so I've got a slotted spoon here. I'm going to use that to pick up the onion rings out of the liquid. That way most of the liquid will stay in this container. But first I'm going to put a little bit of the flour down the bottom. of this bowl. Then I'm going to take some of these onion rings, just drop on it. Then I'm going to take the rest of the flour and just put it all on top, like that. Let it soak in really good. And then, I don't know if y'all have little things like this. It's a kind of a wire basket dipper thing. This is what I did earlier today when I tried frying some of these, just make sure this was going to work good. I just took it and bounced them like that and got most of the, there's one went flying, got most of the flour off of it. I'm just going to dump it in there right now, but if the grease was hot, I'd just dump them straight in the grease, but it's not hot yet. So I'm just shaking that bulk of the flour off. And it works pretty good doing that. Like that. Now I can put some more in here. Works better when you can just pour that flour on top of it instead of having to do it like this, because this gets your hands all gooked up. Now we'll see about dipping them up again. It's a little bit of a messy process, but it's worth it because they're really tasty. They fry up pretty quick, and then you just sprinkle them with salt. And then I'm going to show y'all a nice dipping sauce for them. Sort of like a sauce that you would have with the blooming onion. But I tried to do it with blooming onion and I just couldn't get it to do right. So this is the closest thing to it. So there you go. All right, so these are ready to go in the grease as soon as the grease is hot enough. So I'm gonna drop one in here now. And when it starts frying, we'll know that grease is ready. So I'll get back with you as soon as it gets ready. Okay, looks like this grease is hot, so I'm going to start putting these in here. Coming up to the top. Got my mine back here sauteing. See, I'm trying not to put my hands, drop it by hand into the grease because I don't want it splattering. Because nothing hurts worse than hot grease splattering on you. Okay, so those are cooking nicely. We'll just let them cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. I think I'm gonna have to move these to a different eye because I can't turn this eye down lower, so I'm gonna move it over here. This eye over here can adjust a little bit better. A little lower temperature. I like to be able to, like having a gas stove top so that you can control the flame, but there's some of these that you can't get it lower as I like to have it. So it does doing fine there. These are crisping up nicely. It's like a watch pot never boils, right? But these are looking good. I'm just gonna dunk them down a little bit. You know, it doesn't matter what I'm frying, but if I ever start heating up the grease and Bob walks in, he's like, ooh, something smells good. And it could be just the grease, you know, I mean, the man loves fried food. What can I say? You can see how quickly those are getting done. And pull out that little one that was our test one. That was the one we put in there as a test. So we're going to make our sauce using mayonnaise, ketchup, sour cream, horseradish, and Worcestershire, and a little bit of paprika. So I'll tell you what the ingredients are. Actually, it's 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 1½ teaspoons of ketchup, and a ½ teaspoon of Worcestershire, and then a tablespoon of drained horseradish, and a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And you can add some salt and pepper if you think it needs it, or a pinch of cayenne. But it is a delicious kind of a pink sauce that just like you get when you eat these blooming onions out at the restaurants. These are looking almost done, y'all. You know I'm gonna have to try this one. That's good. Would have been better if I'd put some salt on it. I could definitely taste the cayenne that's in that flour mixture though. These are looking good. Put that one up. These are getting translucent back here, so they're looking good. I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire to mine. These are going to go on the top of my burger because I'm not going to have a bun. I'm just gonna eat my burger like a hamburger steak with the onions on top of it. I think these are just about ready now. See how they kind of string together like those onion straws that you can get at restaurants. And I had just sliced these in my food processor. That's how I got them so thin. So you could do that if you've got a food processor. Otherwise, just cut them with a knife and just cut them as thin as you can into the rings and then separate the rings out. That's all you have to do. Now, see, we've got this nice bowl of them. I'm going to sprinkle some salt all over all of them. And Bob will chow down on these. Don't those look good? Now let me show you what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to take a little bit of Worcestershire. Might move it up from here. Oh, no. You hear that sizzle? See, mine are gonna be great beside my burger. Smells wonderful. Okay, so that's the dinner tonight, and tomorrow we'll be doing the dessert. So I hope you'll tune in for that so you can see that. Alrighty, bye-bye.